We all use GPS, right, like all the time for directions. But imagine if you needed that same level of precision,
Yeah.
but for like life-saving supplies
Wow.
in the middle of a war zone.
That's intense.
That's the world that Amna Usman operates in.
It's crazy to think about that side of humanitarian aid.
Yeah.
Like the logistics, the
Yeah.
masterminds behind making sure that aid actually gets to the people
Exactly.
who need it most.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing a deep dive into Amna's career today.
Definitely.
She is a supply chain and logistics expert,
Right.
currently with UNICEF,
Mm-hmm.
and her professional profile
Yeah.
is anything but ordinary.
Yeah, her career trajectory is super interesting to me.
Yeah.
She started as a scientific office manager
Wow.
in Sudan
Okay.
and then transitioned into global logistics.
Like, that's not the typical path
Not at all.
you would expect.
No.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
She has a background in pharmacy.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have thought about that connection.
Me neither. To logistics. But actually, when you think about it,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
Totally.
Like pharmacists,
Yeah.
they have to be so meticulous
Right.
with the medications.
Super sensitive.
Exactly. Ensuring proper storage,
Of course.
understanding like the urgency of certain situations.
Absolutely.
Those skills translate really well to
Yeah.
managing life-saving supplies in those high-pressure situations.
You got it.
So it says here that her profile highlights expertise in procurement,
Okay.
inventory management,
Hmm.
shipping processes.
Makes sense.
I'm curious, though,
Yeah.
how do those skills play out in
Yeah.
an actual crisis zone?
So think about like coordinating shipments
Okay.
of essential medicines
Yeah.
to a conflict zone
Right.
where roads are destroyed,
Oh, gosh.
communication is unreliable, and there's constant danger.
Yeah.
That's where those seemingly mundane skills
Huh?
become life-saving.
Okay.
Really
Yeah.
is.
So her profile specifically mentions extensive experience in places like Yemen and Sudan
Some of the most challenging environments I
Yeah.
can imagine.
to be working in.
For sure.
And it's not just about getting supplies there.
Right.
It's about navigating
Yeah.
like the complex regulations, the security of everything,
Right.
and maintaining meticulous records,
Wow.
all while working under like immense pressure.
That's a lot.
There's an anecdote in here about her work in Yemen
Okay.
that really highlights all of this.
Interesting.
She had to coordinate the re-exportation of some critical medical equipment.
Re-exportation.
Yeah.
That sounds tricky,
Yeah.
especially in a conflict zone.
Mhm.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Yeah, so because of the conflict,
Yeah.
equipment that was destined for other regions was stuck in Aden.
I see.
So Amna had to find a way to reroute these shipments,
Okay.
which meant dealing with customs clearance in a war zone,
Oh, wow.
tracking these goods from suppliers
Yeah.
across the globe,
That's intense.
and making sure everything arrived safely and on time.
That's impressive.
Like, that level of coordination in such a volatile environment is remarkable.
For sure.
It really shows her problem-solving skills and adaptability
Mhm.
under pressure.
Totally.
And this is just one example of the challenges she's faced throughout her career.
Yeah.
Her work consistently involves navigating obstacles
Right.
and finding creative solutions to make sure that aid
Mhm.
reaches those who need it most.
It's so important.
What I also find really noteworthy is her commitment to ethical standards and compliance
Yeah.
when it comes to delivering aid,
That's super important.
especially in a field like this,
Yeah.
where trust and accountability
It's key.
are so important.
Absolutely.
Donors need to know that their contributions are being used effectively
Of course.
and ethically.
For sure.
And in the complex world of international aid,
Yeah.
ensuring transparency and adherence to all those regulations
Right.
is essential for maintaining the integrity.
Of the entire system.
Totally.
Ultimately, though, it's all about the impact.
Yeah.
Amna's work has undoubtedly saved lives and alleviated suffering.
I mean, it's incredible to think
Yeah.
about the ripple effect of that work.
It is.
The lives that she's touched
Yeah.
and the communities that have been rebuilt
Right.
thanks to her dedication.
It really is incredible. And it really highlights the power
Yeah.
of logistics
Mm.
in humanitarian aid.
The often unseen power,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It makes you wonder,
Right.
how often do we overlook
Mm-hmm.
those crucial roles that people play,
Yeah.
like behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, yeah.
Not just in humanitarian aid,
Right.
but just in all aspects of life.
It's a great question for our listener
Yeah.
to consider.
Yeah,
Who are the unsung heroes in your life?
exactly.
The ones who are kind of quietly there,
Yeah,
ensuring everything runs smoothly.
right.
I think we often take those people for granted.
Yeah, we do.
But their contributions,
Are essential.
for sure, thinking back to Amna,
Yeah.
What are some of the,
Uh-huh.
unique skills and challenges that someone in her position faces?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I imagine it
Hmm.
takes a special kind of person
Totally.
to thrive
Yeah,
in that environment.
you're absolutely right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not just about the logistics expertise.
Right.
These individuals need
Yeah.
incredible problem-solving skills,
Of course.
adaptability,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ability to think strategically
Mm.
under, like, immense pressure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're constantly facing, like, unexpected obstacles,
Right.
from navigating bureaucratic hurdles
Oh, I bet.
to ensuring the safety of their teams
Wow.
in conflict zones.
And ethically,
Mhm.
I imagine there are a lot of dilemmas
Oh, yeah,
that they
for
encounter,
sure.
especially when you're working in a conflict zone.
Right.
Like, how do you make sure that the aid
Yeah.
is reaching the people who need it most,
Right.
while also navigating potentially corrupt systems,
Mm-hmm.
or making sure you're not inadvertently
Yeah.
fueling the conflict?
Those are such complex issues.
Yeah, they are.
Like, humanitarian logisticians have to be so aware
I don't know if
of the potential unintended consequences
Direct-
of their actions.
Exactly.
So they need to constantly be assessing risks,
Yeah.
building relationships with local communities, and ensuring that their work aligns with the
Yeah.
humanitarian principles
Right,
of
yeah.
neutrality and impartiality.
So it's like a delicate balancing act,
Yeah.
having aid where it needs to go,
Yeah.
upholding those ethical standards,
Mm-hmm.
and navigating these really complex situations.
It's a lot.
It is.
It takes a deep understanding of the local context, cultural sensitivity,
Right.
and a strong moral compass
Yeah.
to navigate all of that effectively.
Amna's story really shines a light
It does.
on a side of humanitarian aid that we don't
Right.
often hear about.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that heroism can take many forms.
Mm.
And while we might celebrate those on the front lines,
Yeah.
the individuals working behind the scenes,
Right.
ensuring that aid reaches its destination,
They're the unsung heroes.
they are
For sure.
of humanitarian efforts.
Absolutely.
So knowing what we know now about the complexities of humanitarian logistics,
Right.
how would you approach supporting aid organizations?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
A lot of people automatically think about donating money,
Race.
which is incredibly important.
Of course.
But there are other ways
Good
to
point.
contribute.
So beyond financial contributions,
Yeah.
what other avenues are there?
Well, think about the skills that AMNA brings to the table.
Okay.
Logistics,
Yeah.
procurement, supply chain management.
Right.
These are all highly sought after skills
Okay.
in the humanitarian sector.
That's true.
A lot of organizations
Yeah.
welcome volunteers
Mhm.
who have expertise in things like project management, finance,
Uh-huh.
even communications.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So even if someone isn't like a medical professional
Right.
or directly involved in
Yeah.
like the field work,
Mm-hmm.
their skills could still be valuable
Absolutely.
to these organizations.
Even seemingly unrelated skills
Okay.
can make a huge difference.
Like what?
Well, for instance,
Yeah.
a strong writer could help craft compelling fundraising appeals.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or someone with web design skills
All right.
could help an organization improve their online presence
Yeah.
and reach a wider audience.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I hadn't really considered
Mm-hmm.
how diverse the needs of these organizations are.
Yeah, and even without specialized skills,
Okay.
there's always the option to volunteer time
Right.
for local fundraising events,
Hmm.
help spread awareness about the organization's work,
Yeah.
or simply donate
Yeah.
like much-needed goods.
Right.
Every contribution, no matter how big or small.
Makes a difference.
It really does.
Amna's story is a powerful reminder that we all have something to offer, even if it's just raising awareness about this often invisible work
Absolutely.
that's happening behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
In humanitarian aid.
So important.
Her dedication
Yeah.
to her craft and
Yeah.
her commitment to ethical practices should inspire us all
I think so.
to consider how we can contribute to making the world a better place.
It's been really eye-opening
It has.
to delve into Amna Usman's career.
For sure.
I mean, her journey reveals
Yeah.
not only the complexities of humanitarian logistics, but also the power of individual dedication
Yeah,
and expertise
for sure.
in making a tangible difference.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the fact that heroism can take many forms.
It really can.
And while we may not all be coordinating
Right.
life-saving supply chains in conflict zones.
In conflict zones.
Yeah.
We can all strive to bring that same level of commitment and integrity
Absolutely.
to our own endeavor.
Our own endeavors.
A huge thank you to Amna Usman
Yes.
for her remarkable work and for reminding us that true impact often happens behind the scenes.
It does.
Driven by those unsung heroes
Absolutely.
who quietly dedicate their lives to making the world a better place.